Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by Demico, Chrysler, Dodge Jeep, and Ram, serving the Finger Lakes since 1963. And Creekside Entertainment, for your DJ, karaoke, and photo booth needs. Think Creekside. And DirtTrackDigest.com. If it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Chris Marquardt.
Good evening, good afternoon, good day, depends on when you might be listening to us. We are coming to you live from the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls. Got a whole full house tonight. We welcome Jay Fish back to the show. Jay, it's good to see you.
Good to be seen, brother.
We got Stephen Ovens here in studio making his return from RaceChaser Online. He said he was busy down there at the Black Rock Speedway and was able to help us get a hold of Brady Fultz. Jay ended up corralling Danny Creeden for tonight. We're going to be catching up with him a little bit later on. We're going to be getting a hold of Billy Dunn in the wake of his win over at the Canandaigua Motorsports Park. And, of course, the wonderful John Baum is also joining us in studio.
Yo.
Who is that angel sitting next to Bombas, by the way?
The young lady who
with the half a head.
The lady who does not want to be on the air whatsoever.
Is that angel sitting next to Bombas?
It's like you're stuck on the air unless you move today.
She's gonna be a little bit. She can't get any further away from you.
Hey, Chris, I don't want to speak out of line here, but I think I get an early entrant for Mrs. Motorsports 2013.
There you go.
Grovel.
Mrs. Motorsports is nice.
Last week it was the elbow. This week it's the right side.
Yeah, every week
closer and closer.
Every week we give him a little more snippet.
Just a little bit more.
She'll be sitting on his lap in 3 weeks. I guarantee it. That's the way it's going. Progress leads.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Hey, you know.
That what?
Sat on my lap.
Welcoming Miss Dick Dragon Motorsports to the 31st.
Yeah, the first opening was better.
That's Mrs. Dragon.
Mrs. Dragon. Wow.
Amen.
Big
boy.
weekend of racing, both on the track and in the news with Tony Stewart being injured. And then we've also got the sad news of Kramer Williamson passing away as a result of injuries at the Lincoln Speedway. Steven gets to kick this one off because he was big time in Tony Stewart's court. So I just want you to go ahead and tell me that you stand by your position, because that's really what I want to hear.
I do stand by my position. I know he got hurt, but it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can get hurt doing anything. I could have got hurt driving here.
So your position is what?
My position
he should not quit racing sprint cars?
He should not quit racing sprint cars. Do I think that he's going to? I think there's a better chance of him quitting now than before he went out and broke his leg. But the thing that has got me all standing up, and of course last week I was hush hush. I couldn't say anything. Working with Mike for the first time, he's like, "Come on, man, you got to talk about something." Well, I'm going to talk about something this week. I am fired up about all of these sprint car experts, as we call them now, who don't go to sprint car races, who are typing reports from Watkins Glen, New York, who probably won't go and see the Patriots tomorrow at Black Rock.
Or go to Canandaigua for the ESS show.
Or go to Canandaigua, or go to Knoxville.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you guys, I'm just fired up about it, because you write this stuff, and I'll give you a perfect example. I read an article, and I promised myself I wasn't going to mention the guy's name on the air. But this guy writes an article and says sprint car tracks and sprint cars are dangerous because they don't run soft walls.
Was that the USA Today article?
He wrote that in the article?
That was from USA Today.
Yeah, I saw that article.
And down at the bottom paragraph says that drivers are more prone to injuries because they don't run soft walls at short tracks.
No, I believe if I could make a statement on that.
Sure.
I think the way that it was worded was not so much because of the safe walls, that the safety isn't that of what it is on a national level, or something to that effect, and the soft walls, the safer barriers were referenced there. I mean, the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. There's foam walls.
Can we say the paper? Is it a national paper or a local paper?
It's USA Today.
Oh, it's
USA Today.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Did you read that? Did you see that, Jay?
I did.
I didn't see it. I kind of wish I had.
Among others.
I would have liked to have read that. That would have been interesting.
Unfortunately.
Of course they don't have freaking soft walls. I mean,
there's no walls. There's a lot of tracks.
Neither do a lot of the paved short tracks across America. So if the guy, let's just assume the guy is down south in the heart of NASCAR country. Yep. Okay, if he goes to South Boston or he goes to Bowman Gray, they don't have soft walls either. Hello?
Yeah. But unfortunately, that's the theme amongst all the national media, because they are irresponsibly reporting on something they have absolutely no clue about.
No.
Yeah. If you're not clear on something, you don't have to have an opinion.
Yep.
Just because a microphone's in front of your face or a keyboard is under your fingers doesn't necessarily mean you should form an opinion.
Yep.
Sometimes you just got to sit it out a little bit. Sit this one out, bub.
It's been a frustrating week for, I think, all dirt track or racing fans that really follow all of short track racing across America.
It's been a tough season. I mean, you look at the two drivers. I think they were in Ohio, and then there were a couple of people that were killed, and just bystanders that were killed in California. Then you've got
the Josh Burton there in Indiana,
right? Josh
with
Burton,
the wingless sprints.
Jason Leffler in Bridgeport. Now we've got Kramer Williamson and Tony Stewart on the same weekend, which is probably the highest profile driver to have been injured.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Kramer, we all know, lost his life in a sprint car over the weekend. Tony on Monday breaks his leg and he gets national attention. And
where's Kramer?
Kramer gets all, there's articles out there about it. It's been in the news, but not on the
USA
necessarily
Today,
national.
The USA
level
Today article was focused on Kramer. Kramer, of course, being 63 years old and racing, and I think they were kind of trying to make some dots connected to making some dots connect there. They didn't need to be connected. It had nothing to do with how old he was. He hit the wall cage first. Right. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are. You're going to be hurt.
You could be the fittest person in ever.
Yeah.
And still die of an accident, whether it's a head injury or whatever.
Yeah. And as much as I'm fired up about that instance, I do think the one good thing that could come out of this is everybody, no matter what division you race, no matter what track you go at, if you can look over your track, your race car, whatever it is, and say, if there's one thing I can improve on my race car, then maybe that's the silver lining that we can take out of
everybody. I know it's a huge cost factor for everybody involved. Whatever availability they have to things that can make them safer in a race car, whether it be restraints, head and neck restraints, different kinds of helmets or different kind of fireproof wear, whatever it may be. Obviously, there's a cost factor in there, but you need to take full advantage of all the possibilities out there to make yourself safer in a race car, no matter what it is.
Absolutely.
Your life there shouldn't be a price tag for that, to my opinion, but. And a lot of people will compromise to put more money into the race car, not as far as the safety side of it. So, and I'm not saying that was Tony's case because I'm sure it wasn't. Obviously, money isn't really an issue with that. It was just a freak accident that happened. But
having him out for 4 weeks, what are sponsors going to do?
Well, that's what everybody's kind of waiting to see, what kind of fallout there will be, if any, regarding his sponsors. Mobile One and Office Depot and whatever, all the other sponsors that he has, Chevrolet, Bass Pro. There's a lot of sponsors involved there. And but majority of his sponsors on his Cup car, and that's the thing that those screwballs out there in NASCAR land that only follow NASCAR and don't follow anything to do with what Tony does on the side. All his sponsors support his dirt track racing. They're all in the car. So they all know about it. They know there's a risk. They signed on to sponsor that deal.
It's part of the legend of Tony's story. He's our generation's AJ Foyt. AJ always ran USAC when he was running
That's
Indy.
A good comparison. That's a real good
He's
comparison.
Our it's exactly who he is, though.
And that's his idol.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the first to make that comparison. I better not be. I'm not that smart.
No, I mean, that's his idol. That's why he's number 14. So
he ran on dirt. He ran in stock cars. He ran in open wheel. He ran in open cockpit.
Everything that was available.
And AJ at the time, for his time, ran in the least safe possible type of racing there ever was.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for Tony to have the following that he had based on that.
Yep.
And I think that was part of the allure probably for the corporate sponsors he was able to get, is because he's not just going to do the stock car racing. He's going to come to our tracks and he's going to support the local racing because he is of us.
Yeah.
He owns the short track and he buys into this deal. He was going to BlackRock years and years ago on the hush-hush agreement that, hey, if you don't publicize I'm coming, I'm going to show up and I'm going to race.
Right.
Yep.
And
he went all over the place doing that.
It was great.
A few years.
It was great.
And then he finally realized he can make money.
I can make some
showing up.
Yeah.
You can advertise my name, but you're going to pay me.
But if you went to his event at Fulton Speedway, or you were at the one at Canandaigua, you guys were probably at the one at Canandaigua, right? So you can relate to this.
Yeah.
They blew the lid off of both of those venues.
Absolutely.
Those were huge nights for both of those tracks. So he's worth every dang penny, and he's just one of those guys who. He's real good for us here at the local level. And back to the original point about going back to Tony here, kind of bringing it around and tying up a nice little bow. I think the comparisons, a lot of people are missing the comparison, man. If I do something outside of my day job, and I think we all kind of got side gigs, right? I got a day job.
No doubt.
I got a day job.
I don't have a gig.
Well, you're working on it. I got a day job that pays me okay, real good, keeps a roof over my head, puts wheels underneath me to get me to places like this, but in insurance, all that kind of happy shit. If I get dinged up doing the photography thing, something flies off a car, freak accident, the 1 in a million shots that everybody always is worried about happening to me.
Sure.
I get hurt on my side gig, screwing around at the racetracks and stuff like that. Guess what?
Yeah, your job suffers.
My job's going to suffer. So that's the devil's advocate to that point. Yeah. It's
but we can't stop living our life because of our job. You know what I mean? We get in a streetcar to drive to work every day. You risk every time you get behind your wheel of your own streetcar.
But it's work related. Anything that is related to that job, it can impact it. Yeah, sure, you might get hurt in a car accident, but it's still going to impact your day job, regardless of if we want it to or not.
Yep.
You go to the mailbox after work, bang, you get taken out by the snowplow.
You can slip and fall in your own damn shower. For Christ's sake.
Amen. Believe me, I have. You just get in the mood.
That's why. Wow!
Don't drop the soap.
You got a lot of people that are good, happy to see you back.
I'm glad to see them too.
Ken likes you a lot more than he likes John.
I like you too, Ken.
I love you, Ken.
He does not love you. He does, however, like Miss Dick Dragon Motorsports.
We need to get Ken in the house.
He probably likes passing points too.
Don't do that. Please don't do that.
We need to get Ken in the house someday.
Yeah, it'd be fun to get a lot of people. We were supposed to have whoever finished 31st in the final point standings last year with Dick Dragon Motorsports was supposed to come in studio. But
if we do Super Dirt Week shows, she will be there.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get her on
the season's not over with yet.
I already set it up with her that we'll probably go there because she's not going to. She lives in Albany, Troy. She's not going to drive all the way out here on a Thursday to come.
And by the way, Ken likes passing points.
So we'll try to get her on the show during Super Dirt Week.
Excellent.
Well, yeah, because the season won't be over with by then. It's any point that she wants to go. I can't believe she doesn't want to make the 3-hour drive out from Troy just to come here and screw around with us for an hour.
Here, but coming from Troy, you're talking, that's a good 4-hour trip probably.
Troy? Oh, yeah, sure.
Your wife is getting more fan mail than any of us combined right now.
Well, she's an angel. She's a vision.
When you're used to looking at all our ugly mugs all this time, they see any kind of female face on there, they're gonna go crazy.
Our highest rated shows have been the one where
when Tina sat,
sat
in here.
Can we just get a camera for Mrs. Balmus's feet? I think there may be a few fetishists out there.
We got a foot fetish.
I think there was some. Her foot made an appearance, and I noticed
you don't want to see that. They're hairy.
Was this the bow we were trying to tie here?
Oh shoot! Did I get off track again? That is definitely let's wrap this thing back around.
If there was anybody off track,
let's put the name tag on this present here.
If there was anybody out there with an elbow fetish, last week was the week to tune in.
That's a big reason why, like most places you sign in the paperwork you initially sign when you start a new job. Do you have any other interests outside of this that may take away from your job here with XYZ Corporation? A lot of times when you sign into an agreement, there's no competes. There's no outside. Yeah. If you have anything that is in any way, shape, or form, you're going to parlay your current job into something else. There may be an issue there. But I'm sure Tony and his lawyers probably have some type of stipulation that says, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to. That's why he bought his own race team.
Right.
So he could go do whatever the frig he wanted to on his time off.
Exactly. Now, you started to touch on the subject of whether he will stop or not. Once he's healed up, I personally don't think he's going to stop cold turkey. I think he will sit down and reevaluate how much he does it. I think you'll see next year that he won't go out as much as he does now, but I don't see him stopping cold turkey. No way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hope he doesn't. I don't want him to.
I don't think he'll
stop.
Do
what you love.
And
You're
I hope he doesn't stop.
Look,
but he did an interview recently and said, this year they had 70 or more races on the schedule.
Yeah, between the Cup stuff and a couple nationwide races that he does each year, they're figuring he's going to run about 100 races this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he should do. He's a racer. Look, folks, he's a race car driver. Race car drivers race cars. That's what they do.
Right.
You know?
I love it when they race more and more.
All there is. That's all there is to it.
It's my favorite thing to see.
If it were me, I would be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't let a broken leg keep that from me.
And these guys do. Our guys locally do it. Matt Shepard will have, 70 or 80 races under his belt. Friesen will have
Stewie will
that
have
plus.
God knows how many. Holy crap.
True.
You know, our guys do it all the time. I think that's another thing that the national media people outside of the dirt racing circles don't get. Our guys do that number and then some, just out of habit. Out of habit, because finances probably play a role in that too. The more purse money they race for, the more they could potentially bring.
Yeah, because they're not racing for the same kind of money like Smoke is, but still, the racers. That's what racers do. And
I love it. And we had a heck of a week of racing, man. All this other stuff kind of overshadows some really great racing that's been going on here locally, and that's going to be coming up here this weekend. So I can't wait to dig into the meat of what's going to take place coming up this weekend. And Kramer's going to be acknowledged in a big way. You see it all over the social media.
Yeah, a lot of people are painting their tires on their sprint cars with pink letters in honor of him for this weekend and stuff. I know a lot of the ESS guys are going to have pink lettered Hoosiers on their.
I bet it's most of
on their car at Canandaigua and stuff. So
I talked to Empire Super Sprints mogul there, Dean Reynolds, before I came out, and he says the ESS staff will be all decked out in pink hats and stuff like that. And I'll probably wear a little pink myself because I just roll like that anyhow.
Pink's good.
In honor of Kramer, I definitely got to do it. My waist is approximately a 73-inch waist, so I think we're going to meet it on all fronts here in honor of Kramer Williamson. The guy was awesome. Just a racer's racer. He's run at Black Rock in the past. I think he made it to a couple other tracks up here, but anytime I got to see him, it was a joy.
He was at the ESS show at Rolling Wheels, wasn't he? Was he there?
Wow, you may be right. I don't know.
It seemed like I remember him being there. I was working the pit gate, so I don't. I see a little bit of the race, but not everything. I don't know everything that's going on. It just seems like I remember him being there, but maybe I'm wrong. Dina would be able to tell you whether he was there or not.
Sure.
But it seems to me that he was there just a couple months ago.
King of Pennsylvania. I mean that.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
Yeah, I mean
he raced with
you take
URC
any of the
for
dirt
a long
modified
time.
guys in our area, the big names, and that's Kramer in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
So.
Track championships of the big tracks and URC championships.
Won the first World of Outlaws race at Williams Grove, I believe it was.
Yep.
And that's a statistic that
I saw him win or run with the URC for years. In the 80s, back in the Glenn Fitzgerald's days, and some of those guys that ran with the URC in the 80s, he was always around then because he would come to. They would do, I believe it was Memorial Day weekend for years. URC would go to Fonda, and then they'd go to Weedsboro on Sunday, and. So I would always see them run at Fonda, and then a few times at Weedsport over the years. But then they stopped that swing. They don't come around our area much anymore like they used to. Like in the 80s and into the 90s, they used to do that. But now you don't see them around here very often. They stick to PA and Jersey and stuff. But I've seen them race quite a few times, just not a lot recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was a big loss for sure.
I just started today seeing that some of the Patriot group that's going to be at Black Rock tomorrow is trying to, send some messages out to get people to wear pink. And I don't know if they're doing anything with the tires, but
Selinsgrove has got a big deal going on, and they're going to pink out Selinsgrove Speedway this coming weekend in honor of Kramer Williamson. Sounds like we get something cooking over there, huh, Chris?
You got somebody on the phone?
Yeah, we got Billy Dunn on the line.
Nice.
We got Billy Dunn picked up a win at Canandaigua Motorsports Park on Saturday, and then had a great run with the Super DIRTcar Series here this week. Billy, thanks for joining us on the 31st lap.
Yeah, no problem.
Just basically tell us a little bit about what the last 3-4 days have been like. You've been running really well, and picking up that win over at Canandaigua was a way to really kickstart that stretch with the Super DIRTcar Series.
Yeah, we've been running pretty good for most part of the summer. Just Canandaigua's a tough place, and sometimes it can be a few weeks in between good runs, but we picked up a win there early in the year, got one sometime in June, and got one last Saturday, so that kind of kick-started our weekend pretty good, and struggled a little bit at Merrittville. Had some overheating issues that we spent most of the night trying to cure, and didn't really get to do all the car work that we should have done for the 100 laps, so we really struggled there, but we got everything straightened out for Tuesday at Michigan, and had another good run there.
Tell us about that transition, going from someplace like Merrittville and then having to tow all the way out to Michigan the very next day.
It's not too bad. It's a different place, but it's kind of the same thing for everybody. It's it's not really the same surface we run on all the time. And it was a really good sized track, and luckily, a lot of guys ran a different car from one night to the other, which we did last year, but we've just been running the one car this year, so we thought that we'd just stick with the one car for both days. And Merrittville was pretty easy on cars this year. It was nice and slick, so there wasn't really, as far as car work, other than changing gears and getting tires ready, there wasn't a lot to do for Tuesday.
You mentioned the surface out in Michigan. What is it, red clay, or what kind of clay is it? Black gumbo, red clay, what is it?
It seemed a little sandy to me. It's I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's pretty hard. It seemed to have a lot of rocks in the clay.
Yeah.
We run a harder tire than we normally do on the 100-lap race. Most guys ran 3 hards, so it's pretty abrasive. It's a very good-sized track, lots of bank, and not very often we run on tracks anymore out here that have a cushion, and
right.
That track had a fairly decent cushion, so
nice.
That takes a few laps to get used to again. But it was a pretty good track.
What would it compare to? Anything at all that you guys would normally run on? Does it remind you of anything?
It has the size of like a Can-Am or a Rolling Wheels, but it's just got a lot more bank than either of them tracks, and you just carry a lot more speed. I really don't know any track that we run that really is too similar to it.
Yeah.
Was that cushion out there by design? Did they want that? Is that what when they were prepping the track, or was that just coincidence?
I don't know if it's because the track that we run out, they have 2 tracks there. They have the big track, which looks to me like it's at almost a 5/8 mile, and then they got a track in the infield that they run on weekly. So they don't run on the big track all the time, I don't believe. Last year we were there really wasn't much of a cushion, a little bit in spots like coming off 4, but this year there was definitely a lot bigger of a cushion.
Interesting.
Well, Billy, you got the win over there at Canandaigua Motorsports Park on Saturday night, and just kind of methodically worked your way up through the field there. Maybe you can tell us about your run.
Oh, yeah, Canandaigua's just been the surface over there all year long has been awesome. Jeremy does a heck of a job getting the track ready, and that track was you can run 2, 3, sometimes 4 lanes wide. So start the race, I knew I had a good car. Just had to kind of pick my way up through. The biggest thing there always every week is trying to get to the front before the 9 car. So
yeah.
able to do that, and I knew once I got to the front, I had a really good balanced car, and even if he was a little bit faster, it would have been hard to get by me, hopefully. But we hauled him off for the win, and that was our third of the year, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going.
You talk about the 9 car. He had some problems over there Saturday night in the heat race, broke something in the rear end, and they at one point had pulled out another car. Now, you got top guys like that, Danny, Matt, Gil Tagg had to transfer through the Constellation. Is that anything that you think about as you get out there to run the feature? Knowing that those guys are back there?
The biggest thing is making sure you're on your game in the heat race and you don't have to run that Consi. But, luckily we've been good enough there weekly and won some races and finished 2nd and 3rd. We're most of the week starting 16th, 17th, or 18th anyways, so... But you definitely want to qualify in the heat race because they do give, as far as I believe, they give points in the heat race. So you want to do as good as you can in them. And even sometimes starting ahead of somebody by 1 or 2 spots can be enough to try to beat them to the front and maintain that track position.
How difficult is it to win over there at Canandaigua?
Well, it's horribly difficult. We ran over there for a whole summer 3 years ago and had a couple seconds and struggled a lot. And then last year we got a win early in the year and a win late in the year, but we were okay at times, but not really great. And it's taken 3 years to really feel like I've gotten a handle on it to where we're not a first or second place car every week, but I think for for the most part every week this year. Other than Matt, we've been the second best car.
Yeah, I mean, you started off your answer there, and you talked about 3 years ago when you were over at Canandaigua. Your program has significantly improved across the board, not just at Canandaigua in those 3 years. I mean, what can you attribute that growth to, aside of just having more seat time at Canandaigua and more seat time with the car?
I think the biggest thing is just racing at Canandaigua. We raced at Can-Am for a long time on Saturdays, and decided to make the switch to Canandaigua a few years ago. And I mean, Can-Am doesn't run modifieds now, but at the time it was a hard choice to make. But I think the payoff shows, and even the series stuff. I think every Saturday night it's just about like a series race minus a few guys, and the track's a racy track, so it's not like you don't get a lot of winners that start up front. So it takes a lot to come through traffic there, and it's just a place that it seems like if you can get going good there, and Matt's proven this too. I mean, he's been the guy to beat at Canandaigua and the guy to beat on the series the last couple of years. So it just seems to be a place that if you go good there, it means you go good everywhere else.
One thing that's changed over the last couple of years, you've added another car into the mix too. You guys have run the 49 almost exclusively, put a lot of onus on shop time for the 49 car. Up north, you've been running the 23 and had some tremendous success with that. Is that maybe part of the equation where you've seen some improvement as a driver? Because what it really comes down to at the end of the day is how good are you? Billy, at the end of the day, is the 23, having that 23 ride, has that taken maybe some of the onus off of you guys in the shop and kind of put back some of the responsibility into your hands and into your head a little bit when you get to the track on race day?
I mean, it definitely helps. It's all seat time, and we're still at times, like even in the spring of the year, I think it hurts. There's guys that run 3 nights a week, and in the spring we only run 1 night a week or 2 nights a week because Mohawk doesn't open until May. So, and I think it shows the guys that race more definitely go better. But last year we went to the first couple races with our own car at Mohawk just to get some races in, and luckily we ran good, and Laurent offered me to drive his car, and I can't be thankful enough for that opportunity. It's been a great ride to have, and great friendships made, and I think we've run 20 or 21 races and minus a broken drive shaft last year. I think our average finish is like 2 or 1.5, so it's been a good deal. And again, it's just more seat time. And Mohawk, I think, is a lot like almost like a miniature Canandaigua.
Yeah.
So it's almost like practice for Saturday night on Friday night.
It's a big, fast track, that place is, for sure.
Yeah, it's a momentum track, a lot like Canandaigua.
Yep.
On the topic of that, what do you think? Any thoughts on Zach Albertine picking up his first win?
Oh, that was awesome. I'm happy for Zach. We're all buddies. He's got a couple crew guys that go series racing with me sometimes, and I help him out a little bit with his shocks. But they've been struggling a little bit and working hard and throwing everything at it but the kitchen sink, and they finally found something that worked. And if I wasn't going to win, he's the guy I want to win up there.
Yeah, you finished what, second or third? Third, was it, at Mohawk Friday?
I finished third.
Yeah. I know you were ahead of Danny because everybody was on Dirt Track Digest bragging Danny was going to show up, and so look how Billy Dunn's streak is going to be done and blah, blah, blah. You still ended up beating him.
Yeah. Hey, anywhere Danny goes, he has a shot to win, and sometimes
absolutely.
When his chances go up when he's in a car he's never driven before, and he's the only one that seems like he can make that work. But
yep.
I race with Danny all the time. I enjoy racing with Danny. He's a fun guy to race with, so I was happy he went. I didn't really get too much of a chance to race with him. The track was a little bit one lane Friday night, but we race with the best of the best every week, so
yep,
not really that big of a deal.
In a weekend like you kind of just did, running Friday real well, getting a third behind Albertine and Terrence up there on Friday night, then running Saturday run as well as he did there, and then coming back around on Monday and Tuesday and running 4 races in a 5-day stretch like that. Do you find yourself getting into a better rhythm? And if so, is that something that, are you a rhythm driver like that where it helps to race more, a little bit more seat time consecutively like that helps you, or do you get wore out?
This time of year, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Just, your midweek stuff, like right now, just making sure you don't get behind for your weekly races is the biggest thing. You can pretty much get in the car any day of the week and feel comfortable now. So, you get in a rhythm, and as long as you can just stay ahead on the maintenance, everything's pretty much the same.
How much more midweek racing are you going to do? Is the Utica Rome show that's coming up on the 21st, is that in your purview? You guys going to be able to come down and race that?
No, we don't really do any of the American Racer stuff.
True.
The Hoosier stuff and the dirt stuff is about with work and everything else we got going on besides racing. That's enough to keep us busy. And, we got Lebanon Valley coming up next week.
True.
Then we'll just take a couple weeks to get ready for the next series race at Rolling Wheels. And, I'd love to race more, but it's just, just dollars and sponsorship, and we do what we can. So we'll just keep running the dirt series and our weekly Canandaigua thing.
Got a question coming in on the Creekside Entertainment live chat. Who do you think is one of the toughest drivers to race against other than Matt Shepard?
Right now, Stuart Friesen's pretty hot. I mean, I don't get to race with him much, but anytime I do, he's pretty well on fire. Brett Hearn. Anytime Danny's quick, he's tough to race with. All the guys that run the series are pretty much, when they're good, they're all hard to race with.
You got some of the dirt series races coming up, and we're talking about big, fast tracks. I wanted to ask you, how forward are you looking to getting back on the mile at Syracuse?
We just got our car out for Syracuse the other day. I'll start going through that, and don't have too much to do to get ready. But that's one of them things that we look forward to it, but we don't, because it means it's getting to where now Syracuse is right around the corner, and it means a lot of work to get ready to go. It's hectic getting ready to go, but once we get there, I'm happy we're there. I enjoy racing at Syracuse. We've had a lot of good luck there the last couple of years, so I don't see why we can't be just as good as we have been, and hopefully maybe a little better.
Yeah, you guys seem to have found something up there that seems to work. You guys had a great run last year.
Yeah, we just seemed to got a good balanced race car. We missed a little bit last year on Sunday and probably screwed up our pit stop a little bit with the rain coming, and we ended up 10th, which isn't bad considering. So we've won our triple the last 2 years, and last year we finished second in the small block race. So I feel comfortable there. I enjoy racing there, and feel like we got a pretty good balanced setup. I'm not going to go out and set fast time with it or anything, but it's good and drivable. So we'll just stick with the same thing and see what happens.
The plan for Super Dirt Week, running both classes again?
Right now, that's the plan. We really only need to run the big blocks for the points and all that, but I think the extra seat time with the small block helps, and we planned on running the small block series this year, but just had a little bit of bad luck in the first couple races, so we just kind of backed away from that, and we're going to just concentrate on the big block stuff again. And so our motor's fresh for Syracuse, so it looks like right now we're going to run both races.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, why don't you take a minute and let all the fans know how they can get a hold of you, and take a minute to recognize some of the folks that help you keep you going around the track.
If anybody wants to get a hold of us, we're always in Watertown at number 1 speed, working. I do my own shock business thing and rebuild shocks for local racers, so that's what we do during the day. And we got the speed shop and the truck accessory shop, so we're always around. And all my sponsors: number 1 speed, Frosty's Ice Cream, Bicknell Racing Products, and Tiger Racing Shocks. Everybody that helps us, my crew, couldn't do it without them.
We appreciate you stopping by the 31st lap with us here, and we wish you the best this weekend. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Hope to see you out in Syracuse when we're out there for the live shows.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks, Billy.
See you, man.
See you Saturday, Bill.
He had a busy couple of days when you think about the miles he traveled from Watertown.
Yeah, all those guys. I mean, especially, you talk about him racing at Mohawk on Friday, then hauling all the way to Canandaigua on Saturday. And then he turned around and had to go to Merrittville on Monday, then go haul to Michigan on Tuesday. And he had an awful time at Merrittville. I think he took a guaranteed spot because he had the trouble in the heat race. I don't even think he started at Concy. Mm-hmm. And he got added to the field, and then I don't think he ran very many laps at Maryville. I don't think he finished the race. I think he finished way down.
23rd.
So to turn around and go, haul however many hours it is from Maryville to I-96 in Michigan, and then at least capped it off with a podium finish there. I think he was third there Tuesday night. So long, that's a lot of driving along.
What a difference
few days.
What a difference the year makes for Brett Hearn.
Yeah,
he goes out to I-96 and
he didn't get to run that race last year.
Right, he was in the hospital
and he won it.
Yeah.
So that for him, like everybody last year, that was their first time. It was his first time this year.
Yep.
So they should have clearly had guys like Shepard and those guys that were there last year should have clearly had an advantage, and he still went out there and kicked their ass.
Well, how do you know they didn't have some sort of advantage, and he just was more adaptable?
You never know.
He's wicked.
He does okay, right?
And remember,
he's got quite a bit of experience under his belt.
Yeah, he does for sure.
This is the time of the year that he was sick last year, and then after this, he progressively got better and started whipping everybody on the tour.
Well, yeah, he went to the Mr. Dirt track. That was his first race back, I think.
And now he's got the points lead.
And he just went on a tear.
Yep.
Right through October.
And now he's got the points lead, and he's feeling good, and he's got momentum. It'd be pretty cool to see him win.
Have to see what happens.
Championship.
It'll be interesting.
He's got to get through Syracuse first.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. I think
he did pretty darn good at Syracuse a year ago.
It's a two-man show for that title. So,
and you talk about Syracuse. Think about his mentality coming back to Syracuse this year. Last year, all he had won there was a small block race in how many years?
Right.
And he and it was rain shortened last year. I get that, but still, he's coming back as the champion of the big block race.
Yeah, and he'd been in those shoes in the past many times, coming back to Syracuse as a defending champion. But it had been a long time.
Very long time.
He used all his great luck at Syracuse in the 80s and in the very early 90s, and then it all went to hell for a long, long time. And it looked like he was never going to win that race again.
God, he brings some awesome-looking cars to Syracuse, dude, don't he?
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
Always has.
Awesome-looking stuff.
Yeah. Always has.
I can't wait to get there on inspection day. I mean, I'm already looking forward to that. Just getting in the inspection.
See, I can wait. I don't want to rush it. I can't believe it's freaking August already.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus
life flies
Christ.
by anyways.
Yeah.
We'll be sitting here bitching about Dirt Week 2015 before you know it, guys. Life is freaking gone.
It's almost a third of the way through August, no less.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, what's today, the 8th?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It's my favorite part of the year.
It's been a
the
hell
part
of a
that goes fast.
It's been a heck of a year for racing too. They've hit all the people talk about the rainouts and all the negative stuff, but jeepers creepers, I've seen some damn good racing this year.
Yep.
Crowds have been pretty healthy.
We saw you and I, Jay, were at Accord on Tuesday night for Brett Dale's show, Battle at the Bull Ring, and great crowd. The race was really, really good.
I think you said it right the first time.
They had I don't know how many lead changes between Danny Creeden and Mahaney, and Bacchetti was up there, Mike Rickey was up there, Higbee was up there early.
Yep.
There was a great battle amongst the top five. You could throw a blanket over them in heavy lap traffic. It was a really fantastic race.
It was fun.
And of course, Brett put on a great show. So we've seen some great racing this year.
A show. And that's what I liked about it.
Yes,
These
it was a
promoters.
show.
Promoters are starting to put on show. Before a tire ever hit the racetrack, there was a big dude riding a mechanical bull.
Yep,
he was awesome at it. I don't know. Have you seen the pictures? If you haven't seen the pictures, everybody took pictures of this guy.
It was funny as hell.
We had little kids and ladies and all kinds of people riding the mechanical bull. They were cooking chickens. They had
music playing.
There was
they had
a
all
DJ.
kinds of entertainment, chicken barbecue.
DJ.
It was
It was
Brett,
a show.
Brett puts on a show. He always does.
And I dig that. I'm all about, the circus coming to town.
And he gets the drivers to support it. I mean, even against the Super Dirt Series.
John, you have a face for radio and a voice for newspapers. Quote unquote Art Rohrback.
Hey, Art. Actually, Art was there on Tuesday. He was at Deo's show. I ran into him. Good guy. Thanks for listening, Art.
More importantly than your chatter about racing, everybody in the Creekside Entertainment live chat wants to know when Mrs. B is going to start talking.
I can pass the microphone on it, but I don't think she's going to say anything.
She's a visual marvel.
I'm going to do the live chat.
You need to bring your laptop.
Ooh.
You usually do. Jump in there and do the live chat. That'd be great.
She can use my laptop.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
I'm so dirty.
Oh,
that's
so screwed up. That is so screwed up.
So anyway,
we got to get Brady. Brady Fultz is going to be on the line here in just a few minutes. As soon as
that show of Brett's.
Let's get Brady's opinion on Mrs. Bomas.
Yes.
46 modifieds and 36 sportsmen going against the Super Dirt Series. I thought was a pretty good turnout. It was a very good show.
Both shows were healthy. That's the cool part about it.
Yeah.
They're in such drastically different geographies.
And the place was packed.
Yes. Yeah, and that's awesome to see, man. On a Tuesday night in the absolute middle of nowhere. I drove 3 hours to go see the deal.
Yep.
And it's so cool to show up, and everybody and their brothers lined up to ride the bull and eat the chicken.
Yeah.
Listen to the DJ. It was a freaking raucous party on a Tuesday night. I got pictures of people trying to get in the gate. There was an energy to the place.
Yes.
And that's I love. It was my first time ever at the track. I think yours
Was
too,
it?
right? Yes.
No, I've been there quite a few times.
It was my first time, and I ran into probably 25 other people who said, man, I've never been here before. I don't know what to do. And people were losing their frigging minds because the energy that was in the air for this, it was a show. It was a damn carnival.
It was.
And I loved every frigging minute of
And
it. And then they raced. And then they had a race. I'm not even talking about anything to do with the track. It was awesome.
That's the way that Brett's shows always are.
Yeah,
he does a
shows
great
like that.
show, or he does a great job at making it, like you said, a show. It's not just a race. He turns it into an event.
Yep.
You know who else has a carnival on a weekly basis?
Who's that?
Creekside Entertainment out of Newark.
Nice.
They're the fastest growing
Well
DJs. They're the fastest growing DJ service in the Finger Lakes, and they're based out of Newark. The group features anything you might need to kickstart your next party or gathering. The official photo booth provider of the Rochester Nighthawks, Creekside Entertainment offers DJ services, sound rentals, and karaoke. They can be found around the area weekly, including F&A Rhythm and Booze, the Great Bar in Waterloo. They're there Mondays from 8 to 12, Friday nights at the Poorhouse from 9 to 1 a.m. all the way through December. Friday nights at the Quality Inn located in Newark, featuring rock and roll karaoke from 9:30 at night till 1:30 in the morning, and Saturday nights at the Penn VFW from 8 until 12. That's Creekside Entertainment, the official fan connection sponsor of the 31st lap. Online at creeksideentertainmentgj.com. Call Stu at 315-481-9700 or email creeksideentertainment@yahoo.com. Another carnival, if you will, all month long. D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep Rampant is celebrating their 50th anniversary. Make sure you get out there. 50th anniversary. You can register for all sorts of weekly prizes. There's an incredible list of cars available at this point, and they're also guaranteeing during the special promotion that you will get your best offer on any trade-in in the area. They've got Dodge Chargers, Chrysler 300s, Dodge Avengers. Ooh. You name it, they've got them. They're all hot and they're ready to move. They also need trades. The pre-owned inventory has been ravaged by the last 3 months, so they're in desperate need of quality pre-owned vehicles. They're not going to hold anything back and give you the most that they can for your car and help you renew one of the cars, vans, SUVs, or trucks on the lot. Visit my favorite sales rep, Mike Godkin, and the rest of the D'Amico family online at D'AmicoChryslerDodgeJeep.com or visit them in person at the dealership, open daily from Mondays to Saturday at 8:30. For more information, call D'Amico's at 877-407-7207.
7207, man.
Go get those Mopars.
Got to.
Gotta love that.
Got the good people.
I got to drive that 6-speed dart, and after I figured out how to not stall it.
So they do make a dart in a stick?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it had a turbo. That's exactly what I need to be driving. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. You got to get over there and check that out. And then, of course, Creekside Entertainment live chat, Creekside Entertainment hotline, Creekside Entertainment, pretty much everything under the sun at the 31st lap, including the big comfy red chair right there that Rich Post used to sit in. But
is your face frozen there?
I'm an ISO shot here.
His face has been frozen for a while there.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
I didn't.
That's all right. They don't want to see this mug anyway.
Everything's working okay.
Chris was talking about our schedule. I just wanted to toss in a little tidbit. We're actually changing our F&A's Rhythm and Booze to Tuesday nights.
Oh, yeah?
Try
Rhythm
a different
and
night of the
Booze.
week, see what we can do. And all through the month of August, we're also going to the Palmyra American Legion. So
Nice.
Pretty busy.
Place to be, Palmyra American Legion.
Rhythm
man.
and Booze. I like it.
He liked that name.
Rhythm and Miller
Likes the
Lite
name
is
of the
even
place.
better.
Yeah.
Actually, Rock and Roll and Miller Lite, I should say.
There you go.
When's the so the next big show coming up series-wise would be the
next Super
Modified
Series race is the Mr. Dirt Track USA, a week from today. The next big money race is this Saturday. Forrest Rogers at Grandview. 10 grand.
Oh, wow. Hey,
That's a big show.
Yeah, 10 grand to win. They have it every year. It always pays 10 grand to win, and it's great because they have it on a Saturday, so it's basically for the regular guys.
That's cool stuff.
You know, the regular drivers got a shot at 10 grand rather than doing it in the middle of the week, and then you get all these outside guys come in and try to steal the money or whatever.
That's kind of cool. I like that idea.
They've done it for years.
That's great.
Because the Rogers family, you know, that's who owns the track, and Forrest Rogers was the old man, so it's always been in his memory. So, yeah, the Forrest Rogers is Saturday night. 50 laps, 10 grand. Can't go wrong with that.
They talk about
Hopefully that
drivers
Ford
having
car.
some. Hey, there we go. Now I'm back. We're going to go to the Creekside Entertainment Hotline and bring in a guy who had some pretty decent luck at Black Rock Speedway on Friday night, picking up 2 Sportsman feature wins. Brady Fultz, how you doing, sir?
Good, Steve. How are you?
Doing well. Hey, talk about stinking up the show over at Black Rock the other night. They run that 50-lap Sportsman race, and they said you found the top side of the speedway and used it to your advantage. How was it?
Yeah, I started 4th. We had to redraw way back when we were originally supposed to run that, and so thankfully, I got to start up front. The track conditions were pretty heavy, so that paid off because you weren't going to come from the back on that type of track. And I stayed patient. We got a late race caution there at the end, and I knew I had to pick him off then. I put it to the top, went around him in 1 and 2, and that was it. And we just drove away.
Now you come back out into the next feature, which is the regularly scheduled feature, and where did you start in that? And you still came up through and got another win.
Oh, I started 10th, and I basically doing the same thing. The top side was real good for me, and I kept working it up there, and we had another caution there with probably 7 laps to go or something like that, and I just drove around the top of them there and did the same thing.
Now you and Donnie Lawson have had some pretty good battles over there at Black Rock, and I noticed that he had the top 5 finish in the 1 feature, but you're out there leading those races, and then you take the lead in the 2nd feature late in the race. Are you waiting for Donnie to come up there and battle it out with you?
I'm just trying to get to the front as soon as I can, and get the wins. That was my first 2 wins there this season. And we had a real close call there between Donnie and I, a month back, and he ended up on top. But I'm just glad to get a couple wins.
Tell us a little bit about those track conditions over there. I mean, is that something that you prefer to run on a heavy track? It's certainly going to help you get the power down.
No, I prefer it to be drier. I think that I have an advantage of knowing what to do to the car to tighten up and selecting the correct tires for track conditions when it's dry over there over the other guys. Once the track gets that heavy, I know in hot laps, I couldn't even get the car to turn 6 grad in hot laps. The track was so heavy. So, they can't wind up that good when the track's got a lot of bite. So I prefer it to be drier.
What's it been like for you since the Sportsman took over as the premier class at Black Rock?
It's been a lot of fun. I had the Suzuki sponsorship back in 07 and 08, and since then, I've learned a lot, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. And now we've got 2 championships over there. And, now I'm becoming to the point we got that 358 motor, and I'm kind of liking to run that a lot more. So I'm not sure about what's going to go on next year or whatnot, but it's definitely looking towards that.
So are you pushing Black Rock management to move the 358s back in?
I would love for that to happen. The track's so close to home that basically I have to run there every week. They have a lot of local sponsors, so I basically whatever Black Rock does, I have to do. But I don't know. We just have to wait and see what happens, I guess.
Is there enough support for that change in the pits to make that something that's viable?
I think there'd be a lot of support for it.
Yeah.
I think you'd get a bunch of Woodhall guys, depending on what rules they would do. But I don't know. I think it's definitely possible. Heck, back when they stopped running, they had a full field. So I don't know why you wouldn't be able to get enough guys to do it again.
So what happens if they go back to small blocks? Does Steve Payne return to Black Rock?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that.
Is he allowed?
Yeah, I don't know if he's even allowed to.
Last I knew he wasn't.
Yeah, I made it pretty clear last time, too.
I know they'd sell a lot of season passes if you did.
Racing was so good back then.
Yeah.
It's such a great small block track.
Absolutely.
Now,
so
cool.
If they don't go back to small blocks, Brady, what is Woodhall going to be the closest place for you if that's what you want to do?
Yeah, it would be. It's I don't know. It's all up in the air at this point. I don't know
Sure.
if I can afford it just yet, but I mean, don't know. Just gotta wait and see. I just I don't know what we're gonna do yet.
How do you feel about Woodhull? That's a tricky place to try and get around.
Yeah,
I could never get around
running
there.
over there. I've had a lot of success with the crates over there. I ran the modified over there a bunch of times. So, I like going over there, and especially because it's an open draw each week. I don't have to go over there and play around with the handicap and have to start in the back. So that right there, makes it a lot of fun just to go over there on Saturday nights when I can make it.
We got a question coming in on the live chat that wants to know what the odds of you driving the small block Troyer house car at Black Rock next year are.
Yeah, that's probably pretty slim. There's one driver of that car, and that's Jimmy Phelps.
Well, that answers that. I was wondering if maybe there was something you weren't telling us, because that made that pretty succinct, huh?
I definitely would do it if I had the opportunity. Let's put it that way.
What are your plans as far as races you got coming up? I know you've dabbled a little bit at Canandaigua, and I think you ran a race up at Rolling Wheels. What are you guys doing? As the season starts to wind down.
My main intentions now are just to finish up the season at Black Rock, and I'll be putting the small block back in for the remainder of the season until we have a couple big trade shows. I'll probably go and run that over at Woodhull some more. So that's all I know of for right now.
You're talking about that crate show. They got this crate show 200 lap sportsman race. What are you thinking about that?
Survive.
That's a $4,000 to win one, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty big show at the end of the year.
Yeah, 200 laps.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were planning on for a fuel stop, but you're definitely going to have to do a fuel stop. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Survive.
Yeah,
they'll have to survive. That's a big thing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's the name of that game. Just go out there and just ride.
Survive for the first
laps.
3 quarters of it. And
Yep. Just ride for 150 laps. Take care of it, and you'll be there at the end. No problem.
Yep.
Take our advice. We know we're experts.
It'd be an interesting race to watch.
Yeah.
Sportsmen don't typically, obviously, they don't usually run those kind of races. It would be interesting. I like the idea because, a lot of people don't like the longer races. I love longer races. I wish I've been waiting for 25 years to see a 250 lap race. I would love to see a 250 lap modified race.
To show you how much John loves long races, he DVR'd the 24 Hours Daytona and watched the whole thing.
I only DVR'd the ending where I couldn't see it. I watched it all live until the end.
Okay, so
I had to leave.
You watched all of the...
I did watch the whole thing, though, yeah.
John will just sit out in front of his house on his porch and just watch cars go by 24/7.
You think every car that passes his house is somehow...
I don't live on a main road.
Man, look at that Caprice go. Go, Grandma.
What did you have to change on your car going from the makeup feature into the weekly program as the night changed and all the stuff that went on through the course of the night?
I really didn't do too much. I tightened the car up just a little bit more than it was, and I made it quite a bit better actually by doing that. And I don't know. I've got 4 or 5 adjustments that I do to the car each night, and I keep doing that, and I basically know what I like at Black Rock, so I just keep going with it, and it works.
Pretty well summed it up there. Would you do the fans a favor and let them know how they can get in touch with you if you get into the social media and stuff like that, and then of course let us know who's on the car?
All right. Yeah. I definitely have to thank all my sponsors this year. We haven't had the best of luck, just a lot of things breaking and whatnot, but, a lot of my sponsors, I got Troyer Race Cars, Barney Moravec Water Wells, Draco Springs, CB Butler Heating and Air Conditioning, the Decoy Restaurant and Lounge, Rooster Hill Vineyards, ACP, Fulkerson's Winery, Finger Lakes Auto Truck and Marine, Napa and Penn Yan, and Offshore Marine. All the sponsors, you definitely can't do this stuff, and, it makes it really enjoyable when you have that much backing, and I really appreciate the help that I can get.
Do you go out and do any appearances at any of your sponsors with the car?
Say that again?
Do you go out and do any appearances with your car at any of those sponsor locations?
No, I have in the past gone places, but, no one really has asked. I mean, I've offered it, but, if they were wanting me to, I definitely would do it.
Do you like doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. One thing that I have done in the past, I mean, not lately, but I have gone to, a car show that's been in Dundee and, showing off the car there, early in the season when it looks good, So.
Well, what's next from here? Just getting ready for Black Rock again?
Yeah, the car's pretty much all ready for tomorrow night. I'm going to go home from work and load it up and get to the track. I guess we only have features tomorrow night, but it'd be nice if they'd make it a longer race because I think we're going to start by handicap, so I'm definitely not going to have a good starting position, so I'm just going to have to drive really hard to get to the front in 20 laps. Makes it real hard, but see what we can do.
Well, we wish you the best out there, and I hope you can go out there and pick up your third in a row.
Hey, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
We'll see you soon.
See you, man.
Thanks. Yep, bye.
Brady
There
Fultz.
goes Brady Fultz on the Creekside Entertainment hotline, picking up 2 wins over at Black Rock Speedway.
It's nice. He's got a winery as a sponsor. I wonder if he gets some
He's got-
perks out of
didn't
that.
you mention 2? Mentioned 2 wineries.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
And it's nice after all these years that we still have a car out in the field somewhere that we can call the water wagon.
Right.
I love
Yeah,
that.
right?
I love that. I grew up watching Johnny Moravec.
Johnny Moravec.
And actually, that's Brady's, that's family.
Oh,
for
really?
Brady. Yep.
Nice.
And, man, I
Boy,
miss,
he has some
I miss
wars.
seeing that
I
water
remember
wagon
watching that
number
Johnny
6.
Moravec
Yep.
number 6. Yep.
John had some wars at Black Rock with Steve Payne.
Yeah.
And then before that, Walt Mitchell was over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they had some.
Walt Mitchell was the man.
Yeah.
That was when I was growing
Mopar.
up over there.
And
That was, yeah.
Yeah, he was the man over there right up until it was like 1999 or 2000, and there was a changing of the guard. It went from Walt, and then Steve Payne carried the torch for about 10 years. And then they got rid of.
They had to kick him out.
Well, that's, the process of that isn't quite as simple as what you just outlined, but yeah,
we're gonna
long
get
story
somebody standing up.
I don't know, man. It is unfortunate though. If they bring the small blocks back there, that would be outstanding. Because I'm pretty sure that Bobby Perrell still got a car at Mossball.
Here's the thing.
He could come down there and race, and then it'd be great for Steve Payne to come back. What better story would there be?
Here's the thing, though.
For Steve to go back there, just get thrown out again.
Oh yeah.
You bring that up about if they bring the small blocks back as a weekly program at Black Rock, and let's just hypothetically say that Steve is allowed to race there. Will he even go back? I mean, will he even do that? He doesn't really do small block stuff hardly at all anymore.
Where is it that he has an option of doing it?
He doesn't race on Friday. He races one night a week. He runs.
Where else does he
runs
have
in
an option?
Canandaigua, and that's pretty much it.
He's not gonna.
I mean, he's run a handful of races in Canada this year. He's got a ride out there.
Got a ride, yeah.
And he's done a little bit of racing, but I mean, anymore the last few years, he really doesn't travel a whole lot. So would he even bother racing on Friday nights?
If I had an opportunity to go back to a track that I know as soon as I
got low-hanging fruit.
I roll into the joint and know that I can go out there and win. It doesn't matter what the track condition is. It doesn't matter where I start. I think he'd be crazy not to.
Yep.
Well, again, that's the question somebody would have to ask him. Would he do it? Would he even entertain it? He may not want to race on Friday nights.
He's running Granby. He's running Granby now.
He's got kids now and stuff. He's running Canada a handful of times. He's not there every week. I don't think he's been there every week. He's been out there some. He actually won a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he got his first win of the year. We talked about that a little bit on the show.
Yep.
I mean, Black Rock was a. Zupi made the point. Black Rock was a guaranteed paycheck everywhere for Steve.
Yeah, of course it was.
Low hanging fruit. I mean, he was just so good there for so long. It'd be great if 358s came back over there, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of see.
What are they getting for?
I see
sportsmen?
I see some mutiny over there with the sportsman guys because a lot of those guys probably don't want to make the shift up.
No, I mean, what are they getting for car counts over there, sportsmen, on a weekly basis?
20s.
Yeah.
I mean,
20s.
If they got a decent thing going, they're not
18
paying out a
20.
ton of purse. Why? You bring in the modifieds, you're going to have to pay out. And are they going to get a lot of them? I mean, I don't know.
There's a comment I want to throw out there for discussion purposes, and I don't want to throw this out there to offend anybody, but I'm going to for discussion purposes. Can you make your sportsman class can you make that a premier headline class?
Well, some tracks do. I don't know what they get for crowds because I don't usually
Black
go
Rock's
to
been
those
successful
tracks.
with the Sportsman.
Black Rock headlining the
event.
Sportsman. Skyline. I mean, there's a handful of places that the headline Sportsman is. Thunder Mountain, I think, does it. You know, is their headline class. But I don't frequent those tracks, so I don't know what kind of crowds they get. But if they're getting a decent crowd with a Sportsman class, you're not paying out the money that you pay if you're going to support a modified class.
That's true.
So if it's going decent and you're making money, why shoot yourself in the foot?
Yeah, I mean, we're
there's a reason they ended up with Sportsman.
We're taking several steps past what we know is fact and what we speculate on possibly happening, certainly, and
you know, I mean, there's a reason all those tracks used to be modifieds and went to Sportsman as a headline class because they weren't getting the cars and they're paying out all the purse for a modified and they're not getting the cars. So why?
There's some folks.
There's a reason they step back.
Between a lot of people chiming in a live Creekside Entertainment live chat between Steve Runner Weekly, Granby, Skyline having a good crowd with their Sportsman program. Thunder Mountain, Shawnee 2469 says that Thunder Mountain.
That's Sean Shields.
Is what a joke. So
yeah, he doesn't like.
So, but like you
he's
said,
got a beef with Thunder Mountain, so that's a whole biased opinion right there.
But I mean, those tracks, like you said, they were modified tracks at one point that have since transitioned into Sportsman, and they went that way for a reason.
Yeah,
and they certainly didn't go to sprint cars or wingless sprints.
See, that's what
which they probably should have done, right?
Yeah.
Pay passing,
you know, and again,
score the field on passing points weekly.
They went to the way of having headline Sportsman or headline class as Sportsman back when we had a lot of modifieds running around. Let's face it, the last couple of years, modifieds are dwindling. Everybody's struggling to get full fields. If they go and switch, where are they going to pull the cars from? People can't afford to run 2-3 nights a week anymore. They're picking and choosing. A lot of guys are just running one night a week and whatever.
That's true.
It's a tough call. Would I love to see modifieds back at Black Rock? Sure, I would love to. I wish all tracks ran them, but let's face it, times right now don't warrant that.
It's a completely different landscape than what it was, for sure.
Car counts are hard to find right now, unfortunately. Everybody's struggling to get full fields. There's only a handful of tracks that have full fields anymore.
Sounds like we got somebody on the Creekside Entertainment hotline over there.
Jay, do you know anybody that might be on the phone right now?
Well, it might be the winner of Tuesday's Brett Dale Promotions Battle for the Bull Ring. Dan Creeden's on the Creekside Entertainment hotline. Mr. Creeden, talk to us, brother. How's it feel to be winner down at Accord Speedway for the Battle for the Bull Ring?
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me on here. It's definitely awesome to be able to win the first race, I guess, in like 10 years or so at Accord, you know, at our home track and one of Brett Dale's shows. You know, it's definitely an awesome feeling. You know, we really needed to win a big race, and we finally got one.
When you got out of that car, it certainly felt like you won a big race. Is this the biggest one of your career, would you say, by far?
Yeah, this is absolutely the biggest one. You know, we won opening night, I think, back in 2009 with a big block in Middletown. That was cool. You know, we won the Southern Tier Open at 5 Mile in 2011. That was definitely awesome. But this one is definitely number one, you know, to have a lot of outside guys and a lot of good guys, you know, racing there. And, you know, me and Mike Mahoney had a great race going. And, you know, you always got to watch Mike Rickey. And, you know, Jackie Brown's really quick at our home track this year. So, but, you know, doing it in front of the hometown crowd, you know, a lot of people were there that usually ain't there. A lot of people from Middletown, you know, from Orange County. And, you know, just to win a race like that is just definitely awesome.
Tell you, that race Tuesday night was we talked about it earlier. It was a very good show. A lot of swapping for the lead with Mahaney. But put Mahaney aside for a moment, that race up front was dominated by the regulars. It was all regulars up front.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I think what was the top three was regulars, right? Me, Jackie, and Andy.
Yep.
You know, and like I said, Mike Rickey had I think a left rear tire or something. Wheel broke.
The left rear wheel come right off, and Higbee was up there early.
Like a lock or something came off of that. You know, and then Jerry was up front and whatever. But Accord's just it's a very fast-paced, real quick racetrack. A lot of, you know, I'm not putting nobody down, believe me, but a lot of the times when outsiders come in there, for the first couple times, they kind of don't pick it up quick. You know, Stu, you know, one of a good friend of mine, Stu seems to struggle every time he comes there. You know, just we have so many laps around there that it just makes it not look easy, but it's definitely easier for us to race with the competition on a, you know, special midweek show, and then like especially the King of the Catskills and the 100-lapper at the end of the year. So, never really looking forward to that 100-lapper. So, hopefully we can knock that one off and have 2 special events. That'd be great.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're carrying on the banner of Brett Deo's shows.
Yes, the little guy winning.
Yeah, the guy.
They win his shows.
Wait, let's clarify a little guy a little bit here. This is Dan Creeden you're talking to. Right. This man is not little.
the underdog.
Yes, all right.
Brett Deo, I believe Brett's first race was, I think he called it the working man's race. A lot of guys couldn't go to Syracuse, so he ran the first race at Aston there, and then, the 5 mile deal came around. I think, on a Saturday during Super Dirt Week where, a lot of fans and a lot of cars up the Super Dirt Week. I think the first one drew like 82 cars, and the year after was 81 cars. And even last year was down a little bit, I think 70-ish or high 60s. But, Brett puts on such a good show, and he pays so good.
Yep.
Believe me, I love to win a $20,000, $30,000 race. But, this $6,000 that we won here the other night, that's going to carry me as a low-dollar team basically to the end of the year.
Right.
And I feel that, Brett's a friend of ours. I've known Brett for a long time. Brett was, the announcer at Aqua when I first started racing.
Yep.
And that's, we both kind of grew up there. But the way Brett promotes these races and, the way he runs the show off and just how much he called me today or texted me today saying, hey, I got more stuff coming to you. The Dash money and stuff like that, and all the sponsors, New York Truck Parts and, the Winnie family and Ricky's Barbershop, they do a Dash, and it just makes it fun for the fans. It makes it fun for the drivers, and it gives us a chance, us little guys, to make a little bit of money. And like I said, I think between these 2 shows, we made about $8,000. That's going to carry me basically for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Brett, hats off to Brett. He does a great job.
Yeah, that's where we were talking earlier before you were on the air about his events. They're an event. They're a show. They're not just a race. And we were talking about all the things for the fans. But on your end, the things that he gets and acquires from sponsors and donations and stuff for the drivers, it's almost like there isn't too many drivers to walk out of there empty-handed, even if you don't make the show.
Yeah, we got, I think, Penn Can, we kind of missed on a setup a little bit, and we ran that last chance race or whatever you wanted to call it there. I think that paid $55.
Yep.
He just, no matter what you do at a Brett Deo race, you seem, like you guys said, you seem to walk out of there with something in your hand.
Yeah.
You never hear no negativity. Nothing about show being drawn out or nothing. Brett said at 6:45 the race cars were on the racetrack, and they were on the track.
Yep.
And he runs such a tight show, and everything's planned. It makes it fun to be a part of. Even winning or not, winning always makes it great, but when Brett's involved, it's just cut and dry. We're going to do this, this, and this, and we're done. It's just out of there. I think 10:45 or something, we were out of Afton, and I don't know, we were so excited, we didn't look to see what time, but I was home in Woodsboro by, I think, midnight. So, he just runs such a tight show, and on Tuesday night, that's what we need to, because at Monday morning, 8 o'clock, I was back at work. So,
right.
That's what makes everything so great.
Yeah, that was one of the things I kind of wanted to touch on while we had you on the line. I wanted to hear the racer's point of view of his shows, because that's me being a fan sitting in the stands. That's the part that I see and what I feel too. So I was wondering if it was the same in the pit side too, and that's the vibe that you seem to be presenting.
Yeah, he's just it makes our life easier. It gives us time to work on the cars. If something happened in heat race or something in the concert, they give you some time to, adjust on it or fix it or whatever you got to do. It's he just, like I said, I don't know if he actually sits down and writes down what goes on or whatever, but everything is just such a smooth operation. The fans are always seem to be involved. We got there late. I always showed the Ackley late because it's right up the road from us. I think there's a DJ there, and there was, bull riding there, and kids are involved, and, that's what this sport's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a family sport. We love seeing little kids around, and, the mothers and the fathers and everything. That's, I grew up watching races like that, watching Robbie Green and Mike Rickey and Rich Rickey and Don Roselli, run all these short tracks, and said, man, hopefully one day I can do that. And now I got a kid coming. And, that's just how it's going to be. It's a family sport, and that's how Brett presents the show.
Yep, exactly. That's my thoughts exactly.
You celebrated the win that much, now you got a kid coming?
Yeah, that was fast forward about 6 months. But no, we're having a little girl. She's going to be here October 30th, which that puts a little tight schedule on Eastern States weekend because it's the Wednesday right after.
Yep.
We'll have all the cars ready to go, and we'll just see what happens from there. So we're going to probably miss the 100-lapper at 5 Mile for the season-ending deal.
Yep.
But, Brady's going to be more important than a race car for right now.
Absolutely. Congratulations on that.
Amen. That's awesome. Amen.
Thank you guys very much.
Nice.
It definitely celebrated hard, and it came through a lot of hard work, too. I mean, he didn't have a lot of laps to work with. I mean, as you said, Deo doesn't put on these, great, long 150-lap races.
Right. They're always like 40, 50, 60 laps, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, and you had a number of different restarts that you had to battle side by side with Mahaney and hold him off each time. And you
probably the lead like 3-4 times.
Yeah, you had to repass him for the lead on a number of different occasions. It from the driver's purview, when you're in that situation where, okay, I got another restart coming up. What do I got to get done? What's the thought process? How do you mentally prepare yourself to retake that lead and get out front and stay out front?
Well, Mike had really good restarts. He chose the outside, and we were sliding up the racetrack and trying to get off of turn 2 off the outside. And when I actually first took over the lead from Mike, in racing traffic there, I don't know why I did it. And I was going happy down the backstretch and thinking, man, why do you do this? I went to the outside, and chose a restart there, and Mike actually got back past me.
Yep.
Usually we're pretty decent on restarts there. I always choose the bottom. You can get a good run off the bank, and I don't know why he did it. And I almost thought, that cost me the race right there. But I knew we had the right tire selection. Looked like Mike ran about 3-4 off time and started skating around a little bit. And that's just knowing what happens on a Friday night, what kind of tire wear we got, and stuff like that. So I knew for once I just had to be patient. And right. I knew I had a better race car, and we just kind of rode around and waited for him to start slipping and sliding, and he started protecting the bottom there, and I just rolled around the outside of him. But the last couple, I was really good. We got through lap traffic really good, and Jackie Brown was really good on the bottom. So I knew if I kind of used the lap cars and blocked the bottom up a little bit, kind of slow them up, and I said, well, lap 49, sorry, we're good.
Yep.
Oh, I comes out. I said, oh, man, I got to restart. Sorry, no big deal. I just hit it. My mark's perfect. I had another real good restart, and got 49 again. No yellow flag. I'm like, oh, man, not another yellow, But, like I said, I seem to get restarts pretty good there. So, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's from watching the Ricky boys. I was probably 6-7 years old in the grandstands watching Mike and Rich Ricky, like I said, Dominic and Roddy Green, all the short track guys that, we watched for years there. And, we just nailed a restart, and we just had a great race car all night long. I never adjusted the car inside, and we really didn't adjust it all night. We just pulled a little gear out, and we were just good all night. So we were ecstatic because we fought that race car probably up to this point. We were good Friday night, had a little skirmish there on the front stretch, and Kevin, he welded on this thing for probably about 2 hours. Every part in the frame was cracked, and we decided to take this car again because for some reason, I knew I could have had a really good shot at winning it, or definitely could have won that race. So we're really happy we got, finally, like I said, we got a decent-sized victory, and we're just ecstatic,
Nice. The one thing with Accord, for people out there listening that have never been there, it truly is a bull ring, and things happen really, really fast there. When you guys were battling, the top 5 were like you could throw a blanket over them. And you guys were all in heavy traffic. Anything could have went wrong at that moment for any one of you guys. It was a lot of fun to watch because it was really hectic there for a while.
Accord is a good illustration of the difference between a quick track and a fast track. Rolling Wheels is a fast track. Accord is quick.
Yes,
you don't have any time.
So small and so tight because it's fairly narrow and there's not a whole lot of room, and everything happens so quickly.
Ken watched the bull ring race on YouTube today.
Yes,
and he said the
only way some highlights on there.
Yeah, he said the only way it could have been improved is if they used passing points.
Christ. Hey, I'm going to keep bugging Brett about doing a show with passing points.
Oh Lord!
And hopefully Brett doesn't lose his mind and listen to you.
He loves to experiment and try different things with his show, so that would be different.
It would be. Yep. It would be.
I'll even calculate the points for him. I'll volunteer.
But you got time.
Yeah, and I know how to do it.
Danny, what's next for you, man? Where can we catch you racing again this coming Friday back at Accord, and then beyond that, what are the plans for you and your team for the remainder of 2013? Where can we catch up with you on the racetracks?
We're gonna finish up the year here at Accord. I think we're back to 4th in points. We got the 2nd. We had a little carburetor issue. We're back to 4th. Hopefully just get a couple wins out of there. And Saturday night we'll be at Orange County. We're running for points there. We're second at points there. And then they race every other week. So the every other week deal will be back up to 5 Mile for, I think, 2 weeks for a double 20 show and, hit and miss there. And then, at the end of the year stuff, we'll hit, I think Brett has the King of the Can coming. We'll be there for that. We'll be at the 5 Mile race. We're shooting for the Hurricane 100 at Brewerton.
Nice.
I know there's a special race at Glen Ridge. We'll be there for that one.
Yeah, they got a 60 lapper coming up.
They're good family friends of ours, so we'll be there to support them. The 100 lapper at Accord. Just some Eastern States weekend. We made a trek out to Woodhall last year. We really enjoyed that place. That's definitely awesome.
That's
place
a neat.
If no one's ever been there,
track.
that place is definitely cool.
Yeah, it is.
So, we're gonna hit around. I think probably roughly 20 more races, but basically we're just gonna finish out Accord and Middletown at 5 Mile, and then hit some other special stuff. I think the next race we're gonna get during the week is New Egypt. We don't get down there as much as we like to. We go pretty decent there. So I guess August 20th or something like that.
The Jersey Rush?
Paul Block versus the Jersey Rush. Yep. We're going to be down there for that one, as long as we have 2 race cars in one piece. And Chris Diamond's redoing our one big block motor. We'll have that ready for Eastern States, and maybe we'll shake that thing down. And there might be a new chassis to work for Eastern States. So we'll see what happens there.
Nice.
Why don't you let us know how fans can connect with you, and then let us know who's on the car and who helps keep going fast.
All right. I don't have a website no more. I guess I kind of slacked there and let it go up. But Facebook, DannyCreeden.com or Danny Creeden /Facebook there. And, we're always posting some stuff. My fiance's pretty good on that and keeping up what's going on. Sponsor-wise, you got RGS Construction, Chris Diamond Racing Engines, my family, my friends, Uncle Robbie puts his heart and soul in this. Tanya, my fiance, she's... no one can ever be better than her. She lets me do this. She knows it's my dream, and she's home right now. And just Monday night, I got home at 12:30 at night. Just get ready for the Battle of Bull Rings. So, D&D Napa, family friend of ours, Bob Fairweather, he's been a long-time supporter of ours. He back when I first started running Sportsman. So, like I said, we just got a lot of family and friends, and everybody puts their heart and soul into this deal. Bruce and Fastline Performance, East Coast Speed, Affordable Home Improvements. I think that's about everybody. So, like I said, I guess my family and friends, they're here. They bust their butts every night just to get our stuff ready to go. And, they're all here right now just finishing up for Accord tomorrow. So hope we get another win. 2 in a row will be pretty cool.
Nice.
Well, we wish you the best over there, and we look forward to catching up with you soon. Hopefully, we're kind of mapping out what the Super Dirt Week schedule is going to be like. Maybe we'll see you over there at Brewerton.
Okay, cool. I'd love to see you guys there. Thank you for having me on the show.
You got it, man.
Danny's awesome. He's such a good dude. In the dead of winter, he drove up from his place way down there by Accord and did a radio show for us at the Hall of Fame. He brought his sister and his fiance, which she might have been pregnant at the time.
You got to go backward 6 months.
Close.
Yeah, it would have been.
Maybe he was at the Hall of Fame.
Well, that would be weird.
Where babies happen. I don't know if we'll put that in our brochure anytime soon, but
yeah, I wouldn't start advertising that.
It's that kind of lucky charm that you get from the
there you go.
Hall of Fame.
Perfect.
You come in barren, you leave with a baby. But yeah, I mean that's the kind of guy he is. We put this thing together this afternoon for him to be on this show, but he'll go out of his way to talk about his sponsors, to do what's right by racing, and that's maybe that's part of him being a second generation guy. He kind of feels like he almost owes it to his family to do right by the sport and do right by his family name and stuff. And he's not exactly he's no Jimmy Johnson. Don't get me wrong. I mean he's not that type of a guy who's always squeaky clean. He's got a reputation for being a tough guy for a reason.
Yep.
And I think that to me, I love those type of people. I'm a big Danny Creeden fan because he is tough, and he's a big, mean dude. And when he wins, he celebrates like crazy. He went nuts in victory lanes, like watching King Kong come out of that modified, man.
As he should, and was deservedly so.
It was cool. It was really one of those.
I enjoyed it. There's a list of things of what I love about Brett Deo's shows, but that's probably the biggest thing for me. Is that every time I go to a show, I feel like I really got a legitimate shot of seeing somebody different win tonight.
Yeah,
because I've been doing this my whole life, going to races, and it gets old seeing the same big guys win everywhere you go. When I go to his shows,
except for when you're seeing Jack Johnson win everything.
Well, yeah. When I was growing up, if it was the 12A, I was all for it. But I've seen Brett and Danny and
Shepard.
Allen and Shepard and Bob McCready. All those guys over the years, I've seen them win 1,000 times. You know, so when it isn't your driver, that whoever it is that you root for, and you see the same few guys win numerous times over and over and over, for anybody, it starts to get old. When you go to his shows, you're always going to see, it seems like, somebody that you've never seen or don't see win often win those shows. And that's what that's one of the things I love about going to his shows, because you always see the guys that you don't expect, the underdogs, win those races for whatever reason.
And the tracks he's partnered with, the sponsors that he's partnered with, everybody he's got on board, the people he's aligned himself with, Deo has done it on purpose to make sure that the tracks that he's aligned with are the great equalizer.
Yes. He's done a great job of going to the tracks that do become an equalizer. The little bull rings where anybody seems like they have a shot no matter who you are. And that's, and
it's working. That formula is working.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yep. And that's why a lot of those little guys support his shows, because they do feel like they have a chance.
Well, yeah, and then also with those tracks are not accustomed, per se, to getting that big ticket show type atmosphere the way that Brett brings with him.
Yes. Yeah, because those tracks that he does that at, these days they don't hold Super Dirt Series races and things like that, so they...
Well, I mean, that might not be completely fair. I mean, he does the shows at 5 Mile Point. 5 Mile's always had big shows. Penn Can's always had big shows. But as he's added to his schedule, he's going to those places that, I mean, let's face it, those are the tracks that he grew up at.
Yeah, if you look at it like as far as a big race, as far as Super Dirt Series goes,
I mean,
5 Mile Point's had Super Dirt Series races over the years. It's been a while, but they used to have them at one time.
Yeah, but they've got other big
places
events.
like Penn Can, they've never had any kind of a race like that.
Yeah,
nothing. They've never had a dirt,
in
Dirt Motorsports Super Dirt Series style race.
In Accord, it was my first time seeing it. That place blew me away how nice it was. It's perfectly set up for an event like that. They had no problem.
The Palmers do a good job with that place.
They had no problem accommodating standing room only type deal. They had everything planned out, so they know exactly where to stick people when the grandstands got full, and they did get full.
Yeah, because the place is small. They don't have a ton of seating.
Yeah,
because the place is. The track is small. They don't have a lot of seats.
And
it filled up in a hurry.
It looks so good full like that. There ain't nothing like a crowd to draw a crowd, man. Hopefully people pay attention and take it. It got a lot of media attention. That's what Deo does for these tracks, the I-88s and the Accords of the world. He brings attention. There was media there. There was 16 or 17 photographers alone, which means all the websites were filled to the brim with photos and interviews and stories and all that kind of stuff, which is great for the track, great for Deo, great for the drivers.
Was USA Today there to analyze the safety?
No, they were too busy making up crap.
Right.
Bingo.
They were looking for tracks with soft walls, dirt tracks.
That's what's great about being a photographer. I don't report anything. My pictures do the work for me. So when I take a picture of a guy riding a bull, or I take a picture of a full grandstand, there's not me embellishing it as much as I really would love to sometimes. You know what I mean? To pump crap up. I'd prefer to shut my mouth and let the lens do the talking. That's my lips.
Just fix the levels. Just fix the levels. That's all you got to do, right? You don't have to.
I don't even do that. I don't own Photoshop. Come to my house. I don't own Photoshop. I don't embellish. I don't do anything. It's as raw as you can get it, man. When you look at my pictures, well, it's not quite as raw as you can get it.
Whoa!
You've seen some of my video work, but it's
hey now.
That's what's great about all the photographers who were there. There were 17 different guys shooting that race. You'll see 17 different perspectives.
Waterproof mini cams.
In all of
that's pretty wild for a midweek show. I mean, that's
because that's how important it was.
Yeah,
that's
how
great. That's how key it was in that area, but also across the dirt modified landscape. That's how significant that show is to everybody. And 46 cars showed up to run the thing.
Yeah. 46 modifieds and 36 sportsmen. So on a weeknight, where it's you're into August, where money's running tight for most of your teams. People start dropping by the wayside because they're running out of money. You got 82 cars in the pits for a 2-division show. That's on a Tuesday night. Not bad.
And they run it through. It sounds like they run it through in under 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on my way home before.
Yeah, I mean, they had,
6
modified heats, right? And then 4 sportsman heats or something.
4 sportsman heats, a Consi, an LCQ.
3 Consis for the modifieds. Couple Consis for the sportsmen, and then they had the last chance race,
LCQ.
the Bull on Dash or whatever they called that thing.
Yeah, the Dash was something different, sponsored by.
Yeah, that's right. They had the Dash.
Yeah,
that paid the Joe Winnie Dash.
Yep, Higby won that,
and then they had the last chance qualifier. So they had a lot of racing, and they got it done in a reasonable amount, of time for.
I mean, I don't know how well you know. I don't know how well you know Brett, but in and coming up around him, he is OCD is kind of an understatement. so for Daddy to talk about how if Brett says cars are going to be on the track at 6:45, that doesn't surprise me at all. It does feel really good though to see Brett doing so well and getting the accolades that he is. It's really cool to see.
He is. He's doing a wonderful job. I tell him every time I see him, he does a great job.
Can't wait for the next one, man. Whatever it's going to be.
I know. But the next one for him now is Pencan.
But I can't wait for this weekend. Holy crap! Patriots Friday.
Yep.
West Brewerton's got a big show down at their place. Double features,
double
I believe,
features
for the
because they had
modifieds.
one that was rained out, I guess.
Oh, geez, listen to me
On
talking
Friday
about it like
night.
it's 100 mile. It's tomorrow. Holy crap!
Right.
It's the weekend already.
Yeah.
It is.
The ESS is at Canandaigua on Saturday.
Everybody wear your pink.
Who knows?
Get pink.
Who knows what drivers are going to be there? I know originally it was the Tony Stewart night. Obviously, with Tony's accident, he's not obviously going to be there racing. But who knows who's going to be there showing up because with NASCAR at the Glen, you always have a few surprises. I mean, last year it was Tony Stewart night, and you had J.J. Haley in a sprint car.
Not going to be J.J. this year.
Dave Blaney and Ryan Blaney were in modifieds last year at that race. So you never know who's going to show up. A bunch of these drivers are supposed to be doing the celebrity deal at Black Rock tomorrow night, right?
MRO.
Yeah, there's a list of those for the MRO night.
Now, I did see the advertisement. They did advertise J.J. Haley at Black Rock tomorrow, but I texted him over the weekend, and he said he didn't think he was going to be here because he's not in the 36 this weekend. Tommy Baldwin put a road course dork in the car, and he said he wasn't coming, so I don't know.
Does road course ringer actually apply?
No,
I mean, when you think about
those dorks don't win the race.
10 years ago, they might have.
But even at that, did it?
Yeah.
They had a very interesting comment about that on their morning show this morning.
Those things are a bust nowadays.
The way it used to be was you would have the road course ringers, and you would see who of the regular guys could beat the road course ringers. Now it's who of the ringers can beat our guys.
Yeah,
because our guys are pretty good.
Yep.
But I don't understand.
Let's face it, the road course ringers they bring in, there's only a couple that are really established good road course racers. And those guys have not won any of these races as far as the Cup side goes.
Not the Cup side, right.
The Cup side,
I mean,
right.
the roadside ringers,
And then,
who's won
and the rest of them are a bunch of nobody.
in the last 20 years that was a quote-unquote road course ringer?
None of them.
None of them. I mean, you got to go
Fellows
back
is
to
the only one that's accomplished, and that was in Nationwide and Truck.
Right.
Not Cup.
And I think you got to go
Boris
back
and
to
Max Pappas haven't won any.
You know, the big name drivers. You got to go all the way back to like Mark Donahue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You know,
right?
I mean, seriously. I mean, you look at what it was. Terry Labonte was the first real road course expert, so to say. I mean, if that's fair, you know, he's the one that started rattling off really good, and then Mark Martin got hot, and then Jeff Bodine won a couple.
Rusty was always good on the road courses.
But it's not. Those are all names that you're going to see next weekend too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's all the Cup guys. And it's still that way. These owners bring in these road course ringers, the term ringers, and they
Ricky Rudd, there's another good name too.
Why are we talking about NASCAR?
Rudd was always good on the road course too.
The points races are heating up at Utica Rome on Sunday. Nobody gives a crap about this NASCAR crap. Oh my God, those guys bore me. It's like watching a bunch of doctors race around on Lexuses. Come on, I don't give a rat's ass about NASCAR. Oh my God, you could put all them guys in this room with me right now, and I couldn't give a hell what them guys had to say because it's all going to be corporate speak, and they're going to be talking about how Tony Stewart shouldn't be racing sprint cars anymore because he broke his leg.
I love to hear Tony talk. He doesn't talk about corporate very much.
That's because he's real. That's why I love him, and that's why I hope he don't stop running sprint cars like we're going to be able to see twice.
You'll be able to know in about 4 weeks.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, we still don't know how long he's going to be out of the car. It's talking like it's going to be a few weeks now.
Yeah. He's got another surgery.
He's got to do a second surgery.
Yeah, they're already looking at who should we put in the car next week at Michigan.
Oh, well.
Ryan Newman. He's out of a ride.
Well, he's still got to ride. He's still got to ride.
No, they're putting all their efforts into him now.
Yes, they are.
How ironic is that?
Because that's their only shot at the chase is Newman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you believe Jeff Gordon might not make the chase?
You know what? This is the thing that really changes everything.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this.
With Tony's accident, with him being out, this opens the door for other people now, including Newman. This will help Gordon because Gordon's already in the top 10 in points as it is. He doesn't have a win,
barely,
but he's in the top 10.
Parachute out of that.
So with him, if he can just stay in the top 10, he'll be fine, obviously, because you get locked in. But this really helps Newman with that one victory because there's like 3 or 4 guys from 11th through 20th to have that one win. Mm-hmm. Tony's going to drop out of that.
You can add Marcus Ambrose to that list after this weekend.
Newman.
Absolutely.
And well, that's what
Good call.
Ambrose. That dude stinks unless he's on a road course, and that's what they bank on putting him in that car every year is that he'll win both road course races that would hopefully put him in the chase. Well, he didn't win the first one so now he's in trouble. Even if he wins this weekend, it's not going to help him. There's too many other guys with one win ahead of him. It's not going to help.
Marcus Ambrose, alumnus from the MRO night at the Black Rock Speedway a couple years ago. I got to meet him down there.
Cool dude.
He ran in that event down there.
If the whole series was road course races, he would kill him. But otherwise, when they got to go to the ovals, he stinks.
Look at Ken says, look Mrs. B in the eyes. She's saying to herself, and I married him.
That was beautiful.
Ouch. Oh.
Yeah, you got to bring your computer so you can hang out in the live chat. We're going to put you on the camera more, though, so that we can generate more of these comments. That was great.
Actually, next week, Mrs. Baum must be right out with me. John, how are you going to get out here next week?
John's,
I'm not going to be here next week.
John's not here next week.
Mrs.
I'm
Baum,
going to Mr. Dirt Track USA.
I think Rich is coming. Are you coming next week?
I'll be here next week with my co-pilot.
Jay's coming. And you coming?
I unfortunately cannot make it. I'm covering the Patriot race on Friday, and then I'm skipping out to Orlando. So,
ooh,
you got a big DJ gig at Epcot Center?
Orlando.
Man, I am shutting everything.
What are you doing
off.
there?
I'm shutting everything off.
What the hell are you doing in Orlando?
Vacation, man. I got to get out of this place.
You going to Disney World?
Yes, sir.
Everybody goes to Disney World, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah, Disney World's the best place to go in freaking August.
Well, I'm going to tell you, coming from a big guy, the last thing I wanted to do was go down in August when it's
but you know
90
what?
degrees.
Don't go to SeaWorld, buddy.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go in the splash zone just to cool off.
The lines may not be too awful bad, though, just because a lot of your
everybody else has common sense.
Well, a lot of your southern schools are starting next week, so you might be okay there.
Yeah, that'll be all right. Yeah.
Some of them, like down North Carolina, they started today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, let's not talk about school.
Nope.
Yeah, I know, right?
Man,
let's not do that.
What a crazy time
my
of the
kids
year.
going to be starting school this year. Crazy.
August.
Nice.
Points races are coming to a close here pretty quick, man. 3 or 4 points
Fonda's
races?
points chase comes to a close freaking next weekend.
Cow, man.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It flew by.
They got to close for a month for a 1 week fair.
Yep. Yeah. It flew by, man.
They do.
Canandaigua is pretty tight in the grander scheme of things. Right, Shepard, I mean, obviously he's probably got a pretty good lead, but I mean that's something where that could be closed in the next couple of weeks. Fulton's pretty tight. And
yeah,
a couple
it's nice to see a lot of these track title chases are actually going to be worth watching as we go through the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's not like your points leader can take 2 weeks off and not have it matter.
Yeah, I don't think Fonda's point chase is much of a battle. I'm pretty sure Fonda's is over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Stewie just got to sign in.
You were talking about Canandaigua. I did want to mention, while we still had a chance, Ray Hendershot, who was here on the show.
Yes, he won again last week.
He won his third feature. They ran two features last Saturday.
I saw it on Facebook.
He won the second
posted
one, and I interviewed him afterwards, and he said...
He's got to move up now.
He goes, well, that makes the decision easy now, doesn't it?
Yep.
So
he did decide he was already going to move up anyway.
He was actually going to move up on Saturday, but when they found out they were running the makeup feature, he said... Hey, that's 2 times I can get on the track. So yeah, that's what he did, and they ended up winning. So it didn't matter
so
anyway.
He has to. So I was wondering now when I saw that he won because he posted on Facebook that he won.
Yeah.
Do they make you move up immediately, or does that start next year? How's that work? Do you know?
I believe it's immediately because he
goes. So
well,
this Saturday he has to move up.
Yeah, this Saturday if he runs, he's got to run the regular.
See, I just assumed
class.
they just made you once you won 3 or more races, you moved up the next year. I didn't realize they made you do it. I didn't realize they made you do it now.
Yeah.
Nope. Your third win is your going away party.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ouch.
Big races coming up.
Hope he was ready
Can't
for that.
wait.
And the sportsman over at Canandaigua, Kane Bristol, got his first career win.
Yeah.
You talk about a cool dude. I mean,
I remember when he was driving trucks. Mark and Kane was in a truck over
them guys?
at
that's those guys from Black Rock.
Yeah.
I remember that deal.
Shane Andrews interviews him, and you could tell he was just starstruck there in Victory Lane. He goes, man, the view from here is pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
That was awesome. That was great.
Anytime you see a first-timer like that one.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it again this
weekend. And the guy
that
finished second would have been a first-time winner, too. So
it was kicking.
Nice. So what... are you going to Canandaigua then? You're going to Black Rock tomorrow.
Going to do the Patriots at Black Rock tomorrow.
For RaceChaserOnline.com.
For RaceChaserOnline.com. Yep. And then flying out in the morning.
You're done Saturday.
Yep.
And 31st lap will be at I'll be there representing the 31st lap at Canandaigua on Saturday.
Are you going?
Are
you going Brewerton Friday?
I'm going to try to, keep your fingers crossed, because I would love to see that show come off. Because, I won't get out of work on time to make it a Black Rock. I'd love to get out there because I love the Patriot shows there. And to do sprint cars twice in 1 weekend would be pretty awesome, too. And then Sunday, I'll probably go to Utica Rome. And Wednesday, Utica Rome's got another show coming up as well. That'll be the.
That's right. That is next Wednesday. No, it's 2 weeks, right?
No, because they've got the
2 Wednesday.
They've got two Wednesday shows coming up. Don't get that twisted. Because remember, the 14th is going to be that special pro stock race at Utica Rome on this coming Wednesday night, and then the following Wednesday, I believe, is an ROC modified
ROC
special
Twins.
On the 21st. So 2 Wednesdays in a row, you can get over the hump day.
What do they got going on this coming Wednesday? What do they got going on?
Big pro
stock
stock race. Big pro stock race.
I didn't even know about
the
that.
The purse for it is as big as most modified purses are at most other tracks. It's huge. Then pro stock's going to be putting on a heck of a show this coming Wednesday.
And what day was it?
Hump day. You know what day it is. Mike.
I don't know what I'm doing this weekend.
That's the most popular camel ever.
If I'm going anywhere, I'm going to hit the Valley on Thursday next week. And then we're going to Summer Nationals at Ransomville on Friday, and then Mercer for the BRP Tour race on Saturday.
Amen.
Of next weekend. I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. Probably not much.
Where's Mrs. Bombas going to be?
I think she's working.
I'm probably locking her doors.
Just in case you need a little home security or something.
That's right. We got a home security system. We got our 2 dogs who eat you alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll be the only people getting eaten alive. All right. I cannot wait until this weekend, man. Wear your pink, people. Get your pink on.
No matter where you're going.
Get your pink on. Any track out there, I don't care. Even if it's Woodhull, guys, take your chances. Wear pink to the track. It's going to be okay.
I don't have any pink. Well, actually, I do have one, I guess. I do have one pink shirt. Yeah, I do.
I'll wear a little
His first show, he wore a pink shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Steven's first show. I think one of your first shows you wore a pink shirt. Was it purple?
I rock the pink. I wear a little lavender on occasion. It accents my eyes pretty well.
She's going to rethink why she I don't know what that's supposed to say, Ken. You're going to have to clean up that what appears to be
the English language is really a lost start.
Those darn keys got too
close. It's Twitter.
When is Ken going to make himself known?
I like
chose. It makes more sense now. She's going to rethink why she chose Johnny. When she looks like she's 20 years younger than John.
When is he going to present himself?
Halfway there.
Is he ever going to present himself?
Ken, you got to come to the show sometime. You got to introduce yourself to John.
Ken Bren. I bet you it's Ken Bren.
Ken Bren, yeah. Imagine that.
My father once.
Or if Ken gets the opportunity, he can come out and see Creekside Entertainment out of Newark at one of their live events. Creekside Entertainment is the fastest growing DJ service in the Finger Lakes. They're based out of Newark. The group features anything you might need to kickstart your next party or gathering. The official photo booth provider of the Rochester Nighthawks, Creekside Entertainment offers DJ services, sound rentals, and karaoke. Okay. They can be found around the area weekly, including F&A Rhythm and Booze, which is now Tuesdays, still from 8 to 12. Friday nights at the Poorhouse from 9 to 1 all the way through December. Friday nights at the Quality Inn located in Newark featuring rock and roll karaoke from 9:30 to 1:30. Saturday night at the Penyan VFW from 8 to 12. And make sure you see them by this weekend because after that they're going to be closing up for about a week. That's Creekside Entertainment, the official fan connection sponsors of the 31st lap. Online, that's creeksideentertainmentdj.com. Call Stu at 315-481-9700 or email creeksideentertainment@yahoo.com. And we were talking all about the celebrations and stuff. Well, D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep is not alone. They're celebrating a staple of the Finger Lakes since 1963. D'Amico Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating their 50th anniversary of doing business right there on Routes 5 and 20 on the west side of Geneva. Their lineup includes the 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the sweet Chrysler 200 and Chrysler 300, Dodge's hot new offering, the Dart, and also that sweet-looking Challenger. July was a real busy month for D'Amico's. They're in dire need of pre-owned inventory. It was beat up through May and June. Now July has been no different. Make sure you get over there.
Get your trade-ins ready.
Yeah, that's right.
Get your trade-ins ready, people.
They guarantee that you'll get the best offer for your trade-in in the area. They're also during the 50th anniversary sale. There's all sorts of weekly prizes, so get over there and register. Visit my favorite sale rep, Mike Godkin, and Mike D'Amico and the rest of the D'Amico family online at D'AmicoChryslerDodgeJeep.com or visit them in person at the dealership, open daily, Monday to Saturday at 8:30. For more information, call D'Amico's at 877-407-7207.
Yeah, go trade in those freaking foreign cars for a Mopar.
Yep, that's right. Ram pickup, 2013 Truck of the Year.
That's right.
They've got appraisers standing by. Be sure to stop by D'Amico.
Before we sign off,
what you got?
360 Nationals, the Knoxville Nationals for the 360s last weekend. Shane Stewart won his 5th one. And then last night, the Knoxville Nationals opened up for night one with David Gravel winning night one of the Knoxville Nationals. How about that?
We talked to him.
Did you?
Didn't we talk to him at World of Outlaws show last year?
Did you do it? Did you do it at Rolling Wheels?
At Rolling Wheels.
Did you? Because I was at the front gate at that time, so you probably
you were waving
might
to us, but you never mind. Yeah.
When I came over, you guys were talking to McMahon.
Yeah, that was a good time.
When I was done working that night.
Mallett's still mad that I asked Johnny Gibson about doing the voiceover work for a World of Outlaws video game.
That's valid. That's valid. That's one of the historical.
Except for the video game was released in 2002. It's been around for
that
10
game
years.
was awesome.
That was such a great game. I still play it. I still have a copy of it.
I do too.
If I had a machine that would run it, I would play it.
I still I still have 2 copies of it just in case the other one burns out.
There you go.
I don't.
So
I'll play PS2 when I'm 62. I'll break it out twice a year like I do now and bust it. I'll be like, "Yep, that was fun being Tyler." The drug addict guy,
Tyler Walker.
I'm always Tyler Walker.
Oh yeah,
I always pretend like I'm coked up, driving around the track and stuff.
Where's he now?
Take out Kinzer, last lap every time.
you could be slamming Sammy in the channel lock car.
Slamming.
I like to get a good buzz on
name
and play that game when I'm Tyler Walker.
It's so fitting.
Yeah, Tyler Walker, was he in the rat bag car in that game?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
This was a good show.
Last weekend or last week's show, if I remember correctly, we did pick Knoxville Nationals picks, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
Brad Sweet.
Is that who you picked?
Yeah.
No, he finished second last night in his prelim night.
Yeah.
I had Kyle Larson. He did not come out of the B.
I think I picked Donnie Schatz.
Yeah, you did.
That's a good
You
pick.
did. He finished somewhere in the top 10. I think 10th last night in his prelim. Kyle Larson ran last night. That's who I picked. He did not make it out of the B last night. So he'll be running some...
He's got a busy weekend ahead of him.
More shows on Friday because they got another chance to qualify on Friday, and I don't know. We'll see. He's hoping to lock himself in Friday night, so he doesn't have to run Alphabet Soup on Saturday because with the nationwide race at the Glen, he will not be able to get there that early.
Now tell me, how many? What's that event where they have like consolation event double G or something like that?
You already know what that is.
What do they call that?
You want me to say
What
it?
is the name of
You
that
just want me
event?
to say it.
That's I think it's an indoor
Something to
show?
do with food.
It's what is that? I can't believe I forgot. Ken, help me out.
It's at the best racetrack there is.
It only shows
Tulsa Expo Raceway.
Yeah, it's yeah, I can't remember. Now it's killing you, isn't it? Now it's killing you. Now it's just spite.
You like chili beans?
I figured Ken would be on that by now. But, oh well.
Yeah.
They've got about a dozen
Double
cars.
K mains. Twin Ks all the way down to Bs.
Ken missed it.
Double Ds too. Double Ds as well.
There we go.
They got about a dozen cars.
It was a Chili Bowl reference, Ken. It was a Chili Bowl reference.
He's asleep,
and I couldn't believe you didn't bite on that. I'm almost disappointed in that.
Don't matter.
I got to be honest.
They got
best race in the world, brother.
That's
debatable.
Yeah.
They got about a dozen.
That's because you've not been.
Really?
Go once. You'll change your mind.
All right. We can debate this next week when we come back here. And he won't be here to argue.
Sure.
So we're going to get into it then next week on the 31st lap. Woo!